Hey everybody!
Hello guys!
This is MaJeliv, we're the Vasquez family. I'm Matthew.
I'm Jenny.
I'm Jamie.
I'm Jose.
And I'm Joshua.
And today we are going to be reacting to the movie Logan.
Logan.
Now, from the whole family, only my dad and I have seen this movie. It was quite the incredible experience when we saw it. It was such an amazing experience. And obviously we have Deadpool and Wolverine coming out very soon, so we figured we might as well sit down together, watch this movie, and kind of get all on the same boat as to where the same level with Logan, with this character,
Some more understanding.
with Wolverine from the last time that we saw him, because we did think this was like his final bow, it was his bow out, so the fact that he's coming back is definitely a big deal. And the whole question of why, what does this new movie offer for the character? But again, this is still just a phenomenal film. It's directed by James Mangold, who we've seen his work with Ford v Ferrari, in the newest Indiana Jones. So yes, a lot to be excited about. This is obviously Logan completely unchanged, just, the violence, all of it, it's there. So definitely different kind of Wolverine experience for the whole fam. So yes, anyway, we're excited to be here with all of you. It definitely has been a minute since we've been able to sit down and watch something. So just being here together is a lot of fun. We're excited to be here today.
It's a great exhale.
For sure. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for your support in the meantime. And yes, if you guys want to have access to our full uncut watch along to this reaction, and if you're watching this on YouTube, you're watching an edited version, you guys can watch the full uncut watch along on our Patreon with the link in the description or this card up above. So you have access to that, or by clicking the join icon next to the subscribe button. So you have two ways to become members of MaJeliv, have access to those uncut watch alongs, and support what we're doing here on this channel, as well as just being part of a community where we love to just talk about these movies, our reflections and takeaways, how we will apply what we learn in this film to our daily lives, because ultimately that's what art should do, is elevate the human experience. So anyway, I've talked enough. Let's jump into Logan. Here we go.
It's crazy how they don't even do this anymore. Right?
Huh?
This isn't even like a...
It is. It's just 20th Century Studios.
Oh, comics are awesome.
It's also this...
I like this intro a lot. That was when I was a kid.
Yeah, I kind of miss it. It's cool.
He's moving his bed.
Ow. His feet were probably broken or something.
Quite the intro.
We're getting into it right now.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Oh.
Yep, there he goes. Oh.
Ew.
Whoa.
There it is.
How did they?
Yeah. Run.
How did they do that?
I feel like it's what you see in comic books. They just made it
Yeah.
real life.
Yeah.
Because that's
How did?
Yeah, that's just like in the comics.
How did they do that?
He's got blades on his hands. How do you...
Oh.
and they did it so
How?
fast.
That is so impressive. I mean, it's
Editing.
awful, but it's jeez, man.
That's why you don't steal people's stuff.
Yep.
Because you just don't know what they got up their knuckles.
Yep. Oh, what?
Wow. He's getting older.
He's not doing well, man.
I know.
It's like a radio station.
Oh no.
My gosh.
It's a lot of power.
Ow.
Oh, what are you doing? Oh. Ow.
Just the fact that he's one of the ones that lives the longest, because, he ages slower, and all his friends, people he knows, are gone.
Oh, Liberty. Statue of Liberty. See, I can save your nose.
What happened to her?
Uh-oh.
She dead?
Oh no. Ugh.
Turn around, asshole. This is private
There
property.
he is.
Dude.
Yes, it is.
Oh no. Ah. Ugh.
That is a lot of cars, y'all.
Nah, dude.
That a girl. Hey, baby.
Oh.
Laura. Honey, you wanna stay where you are? Go!
Oh. Oh.
Oh. Oh, so great.
So
He's
great.
a mini Wolverine.
Oh
Basically,
yeah.
Wolverine. Oof.
Things in that backpack.
Come on, hold her.
Oh.
Gosh. One of her feet too. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yucks.
Oh my gosh,
God.
dude.
Insane.
Oh my gosh, dude.
It's so cool.
So awesome.
Yeah, did you kind of ask for that one?
Well,
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
that's one way to get
Okay, you
They've got time.
Dang,
Wolverine being a
man.
dad. Sit back! That's also why he didn't play Joel. This is basically The Last of Us,
Yeah.
but
But
just a
X-Men.
different spin. That's why you can't cast him as
Exactly.
Joel.
Is she his baby?
No way, dude. Oh.
What?
They're gonna use him to track them because he tracks mutants.
Oh no, kill him, baby. I liked his character.
These are babies of mutantes muertos.
It's awful.
And similar to him.
Logan, just stop. I have to pee.
Yeah, we'll pay for it later. It's fine.
Not to her, it's just food.
She doesn't know what money is or anything. She's like, ooh, free food.
It's like parenting, but on a whole other level.
It's ironic because they don't want mutants, but they want to be able to contain and make weapons. It's so hypocritical.
Hey, Laura.
So good.
Oh man. Of course they show up.
The address is in the comic. Oh wait, that's maybe the address that they're using. Because it's like Eden.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh man.
Everyone just freezes.
I'm not gonna make it up the elevator. Oh, it is me.
I think it's a mind thing, Mom.
Somewhere
It's a
in
different frequency. It's not with like just the world, it's more people's
gosh.
ability to just like process or think or move. Ow, dude. Oh.
Oh. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Ew.
Ah, it's exhausting.
Yeah.
Genius. You feel like you're there with. Ooh.
Honestly, it's kind of good that it happened.
Yeah. Well, it's for safety. Like I said, it doesn't affect the whole world. It's just people's minds.
People with a brain.
Yeah, it's like static to a radio station.
Knock it off.
Oh, wow.
What happened?
I said knock it off.
A year ago, there was an incident that killed 600 people, or injured 600 people and killed the ex-wife.
Well, she can gut a man with a feet. She can't hear a few naughty words.
Oh, horsey.
You mean better than me? Actually, yes.
Those sunglasses.
She enjoyed that fact. She was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Oh my god!
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh! Oh my goodness. Horsies?
They're self-driving trucks, so there's no...
That's your daughter?
Yeah, that's Laura. That's my dad.
Chuck.
Chuck.
Play okey dickhead somewhere else.
He's like, sick. Wait a minute.
You had training.
So.
Logan.
What the heck is that?
No.
Oh. He's fantastic.
Oh my gosh.
Come on, man.
Will Monson!
Oh no! We're gonna get throttled.
That's not the.
It's freaking horrible, man.
It really is, man.
What and how?
Oh!
Doesn't do anything.
The only this was you, Doc.
Man, dude. Ugh.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Holy moly, this is so intense.
So hard to watch.
Oh.
Oh. Oh. Oh. My gosh, dude.
Just took everything from them, dude. Jeez. Freaking family, man. They're good people, too.
Mm-hmm.
Water.
She drove the man.
She took the car.
She took the man's car.
No, I understand. This is a long way. You understand? I am not taking you to North Dakota. I cannot get you there. It is a 2-day drive, and I am not taking you. Don't fucking hit me! Don't hit me! Stop saying those names. Stop it. Stop. Fine, fine.
So good, man.
I wasn't breathing that. Yeah, you kind of can't fight your way out of that one.
She's asleep down there. Do you want me to wake her up?
They were bad people.
All the same.
Not funny. That is not funny.
I think it's pretty funny.
How long have I been out? Inside.
This kid is
Yeah,
cool,
it's cool,
right? Come inside.
You got your Rebecca, your Delilah, your blah, 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 whatever. Everything you asked for, you've got it. And it is better this way. Because I suck at this. Bad shit happens to people I care about. You understand me?
Then I'll be fine.
Ugh.
Ugh. Whew. Take that medicine, pal.
Yeah, he has to take it. I mean,
He's gonna put all of it in him. There it goes.
Oh boy.
He's gonna need it.
No.
oh, Bobby,
Oh no.
come on.
Oh my gosh.
Oh! Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's gonna cut.
Oh.
Oh!
Oh my gosh.
There we go. That's a strike.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
Yes!
That's a jump. Ugh.
Oh my god.
Oh, that feels so good.
Oh no.
No.
What does he do?
Go Brooklyn.
Oh my gosh. Ugh. Buddy, he's a kid. Mutant or not, he's a kid.
Wait this Nick Logan!
Ugh.
I believe you knew my father on the Weapon X program.
He's the asshole who put this poison in me.
His dad is.
We're embarked on our next endeavor.
Growing mutants of your own.
Precisely. It's dangerous times, James.
Oh, shoot.
Got him monologuing.
Nice. Oh, nice.
Let's go, Bobby. Bobby, let's go.
Oh, are you kidding me? What a coward.
This guy's such a coward. Oh my gosh. Oh. He's done.
What are they doing? Oh! Oh!
Oh, yes.
to be what he is, Joey. Can't break them all.
Oh.
There's no living with the king. There's no going back.
What a movie, man.
There it is, family.
Oh my goodness gracious.
That was sensational.
Oh man, I've forgotten how amazing that was.
Me too, yeah.
Cut Steve. Ha! Pun
It's
intended.
the little moments, you know? That you forget, like the build up, like I completely forgot about the movie that she's watching with Charles, and then
Yeah, that she quotes it at the end.
it's all connected at all beautifully.
I love how spread out, like, the violence is too, because it's not what it's about. You know? I love how just the story is just so rich. And, like, what was happening, and it was, you know, it was such a well-balanced film. Where there was comedic relief, there was sentimental parts, you know, obviously some sadness because of the people that died. Yeah, I haven't felt this way about a movie in a very long time, just of how just rich it was. I've always heard good things when you two watched it. I was always so excited to watch it, but when it came out, we were still too young to. It was just like before we entered into these kind of movies. So now to sit here years later is so cool. And I think the young actress too was like close to my age during that time.
When the movie came out.
Yeah. Fantastic performance by
Oh my goodness.
Oh my
She's
god.
amazing.
So amazing, yeah.
I remember seeing the audition that she did for this.
I remember you showed that to me.
It's the scene in the Bronco when they get in the car after the urgent care. They had her do that when she was screen testing, and she obviously blew it out of the water.
Music was on point. Just all the themes. I mean, Logan, the character Wolverine, he's always carried this weight to him in terms of being very similar to her, being made a weapon, right? You know, there's such power, and don't be what they made you. And it seems like every time we've learned or seen Wolverine, he's always in an internal battle of that, of like having to fight this thing that he feels he needs to be or was designed to be. And that's why that line, that's what broke me, is, you know, I completely forgot. Obviously, I remembered that Logan would die, but not that line of like, so this is what it feels like. Like love, like connection, having a family.
And also dying.
Being
able to just rest.
Dying and rest, right? Because he hasn't been able to. That was stripped away from him, you know? So, yeah, there's just so much poetry to all of that. And then
also just kind of the symbolism of the cross of, you know, sacrifice. And when she places the cross down, it says what the X-Men are, you know, how they are. There's these people that are above humanity with a different perspective on life, a different... They're given these gifts and these blessings, and God is mentioned throughout a lot of the film. And, you know, it doesn't matter which faith you have, but, you know, that higher power of not knowing what your purpose is and what your place is and all of it, you know, for him to, you know, lay down his life for these young kids. You know, that Bobby had a little Wolverine figurine, you know? And
I didn't see that.
Yeah,
and it shows them that they're not there because they're mistakes or just experiments.
Right.
They saw him, and they all were able to see we came from somewhere. There was a past, and we're meant to keep going with greater purpose. That this guy has just, you know, he sacrificed his life for us.
Yeah.
And so it's beautiful in that way. The way that, again, she laid down the cross and it became an X, and that's, you know, again, it defines what an X-Men is, what they do, and what they should be.
And what Xavier fought so hard for, with, you know, helping these kids harness that and realize that they aren't a mistake. They can use their gifts for good, you know. And I mean, and even there's the themes with, you know, the X-Men story, and you have Magneto and Xavier and, you know, Exodus even, and
Yeah.
and all the mutants, and there's always been a lot of themes.
Very biblical themes.
Yeah, so it's just very powerful. That's why I think it's great, and it's just wonderful the way that Logan. It reminded me a lot, and obviously when I first saw this movie, I had already played Last of Us, the game, and I hadn't played Red Dead 2, but there were times where she did remind me of Arthur Morgan in that sense of there's so much weight and sins and evil that you feel like you've done that's weighing you down. And then there's like the sickness aspect.
We had that similar cough that
the redemption, you know, you kind of have to, that turning point where it's like he's got to make something good out of his life. He just feels this need of having to literally rise, you know. I mean, it also is very poetic that, you know, Project 24 was exactly him, if not even more enhanced, you know, a 2.0, if you will, of what he was supposed to be. And so you have him literally fighting that side, that version of him, and having to defeat it, you know. But how ironic that she was the one that defeated that side of him, that version of him. Yeah. Almost as if he couldn't do it without her. So it's just it's beautiful.
Beautiful poetry. I think the whole like story, like the theme of, you know, sometimes we experience traumas or things that really hurt us in life, and sometimes we feel like we're defined by those moments, when it's like, no. And I think the beauty of like the next generation, of it not having to be the same. Like, you know, I love that line that he said, "Don't be what they made you." Like, don't, what is it?
Yeah, don't be what they made you.
Don't be what they made you. I thought that was beautiful, because I think he always felt like that. Like, he was always made to hurt people. And, you know, he was always afraid because everyone around him would either kill or would get killed. So.
I mean, even with that family, that's why that line broke me when he was like getting emotional talking about there's water. Like, anytime he lets his guard down to try to get close to people, you know.
And I was gonna say too, you know, when he was saying, you know, it doesn't exist, Eden doesn't exist, but I mean, these kids believed that it did, and so they showed up. And they built something. They built a place, you know, and that's all it takes is being able to reunite and to build. Even if it feels like there is nothing, there is hope when there's more than two. When you're able to gather together to, you know, to become stronger, and to have faith in that. You know, again, he had lost all hope because all of the other mutants were gone, but these kids knew that they had each other, and so they showed up. They showed up with faith and trust, and look what happened. I mean, Eden. And now they're moving on to a new future, a new beginning, with a remembrance of Logan, of the one that helped them get there.
Right.
Because he had faith too. By just being there and by helping this little girl who had that inspired faith in him. So it's wonderful. And also, I also noticed too the transition of the setting. You go from the city, this desert, with no nature, with nothing beautiful. It's just industry and lights, and it's beautiful in its own right. But notice how throughout the movie we start to transition into more green, luscious spaces.
Kind of goes back to where he began, which is
back to where he began, and it also just says that there is hope, that there is something growing, that there is life. It's not this desert place. It's not this noise that he felt the world was, or this lonely bar. There was places to be, and there was hope. And you feel that because you're in the forest, the green, the possibility. So that there too was spectacular. That visual feeling of there is something here. And like the just the skies and the cinematography. I mean,
I love this movie. I agree with everything you're saying. I don't want to be redundant and repeat everything because I agree. I mean, I didn't see any flaws that I like anything. Not that I can tell flaws from movies, but like in my own opinion and my connection, like I know I'm not a big fan of violence, but somehow, like Jemmy said, it was more story and heart more than anything else. And I think I appreciate that. I love when there's more story than what the violence portrays. It's like a purpose for versus just for the glory of violence, which I loved. I loved the story overall. I also loved how they indicated things without having to show you, and without having to tell you. Like when the kids made a phone call about where they were going, someone answered the phone and someone told them between 12 and 5. So they didn't have to show us Eden for us to know that there was a place they were going, that they were going to get help. And there was other moments, I can't remember them
Same
right
with
now.
Xavier, Charles, when he was saying that he remembered what happened.
Yes.
They didn't take us on a flashback. They didn't show us what happened, but you can tell that there's a grief there and that there's a regret.
Yeah.
And they didn't show us.
And part of
because
them
that's
not
life.
Smart. It's smart storytelling. It's respecting that the audience could read the clues and taking us on this journey without having to like spell everything out. But it was such a beautifully poetic way that they told it.
And them keeping it more vague as to what happened also kind of keeps this whole story
At the forefront.
at the forefront, and also separate from anything else that they created with Wolverine and the X-Men. It's like its own story. Not to say that it's not connected, but it's more the sense of the themes and the characters, right? The arcs that they're taking, and
Well,
where
also,
Logan
too,
is, you know. But
I
yeah,
think-
Mom, I agree with everything.
I think too, implying the tragedy of like you said, how there wasn't like any flashbacks or anything, like having that implicit detail, not showing it fully, explicitly, kind of leaves the audience up to only imagine how tragic it must have been instead of showing what we should know, what we should think it is. It kind of allows the audience to just interpret it the way they want to.
Great exposition.
And the two actors, with just the emotion of how much sadness it caused in their lives to lose their family. I mean, they lost everybody. So they had so much weight on them and so much like sadness and I don't know, you just feel that these actors are fantastic.
Yeah.
You don't have to see it to know how hard it was. You know?
Yeah. And the silence of not saying anything, I think.
Yeah.
It's like Laura was an amazing character. Just being able to speak and to have such a presence without any talking. You know, I think to go back to what you said, Dad, about seeing her audition tapes, because we've seen those as well, and it's out there. If you want to find them, you can. But there's such a power in how little she talks, and it's again very much a something they take their time with, and how the timing of when they choose to allow her to speak, to be heard, at a moment where he's going to listen to her. You know, it's very much the same thing with the desert and the city to the forest. It takes time. It's part of the journey. And the fact that she trusted him and began to speak when she saw that, you know, he was willing to just, you know, be there for her, even if it made him mad, even if he was frustrated, he was going to be there. And so, again, she opened up to him. And it's... Yeah, we just circle back to it. It's an amazing movie.
You had more reflection.
Oh yeah, you guys are saying so many of the things that I've connected to already. So
Yeah.
I think for me, it's this. The conversation leads to. I have two words that pop into my head. It's humanity and death. And you know, Logan was never really fully human. He was always a mutant, and he's old. I mean, he's been around for centuries. So he's an old mutant. He's seen it all, lost it all, and then again. So, my love, you mentioned the weight that he carried, Charles, especially because of what happened. But it's the little detail for me that I remember seeing this movie the first time, and I got emotional because I thought about you a lot. You know, when the way she is in their relationship, and but it's that line, the last two lines when he says, "So this is what it feels like." And she calls him daddy. It broke me in a whole new way.
Yeah. I was like...
Because it dawned on me why this movie's called Logan. I never really thought about it. You know, he's not Wolverine. He doesn't want to be. He just wanted to have some kind of normal life at some point. And who knows, centuries ago he probably gave up on that. Maybe it was just a year ago that he gave up on that. It's just that the thought that at some point he said to himself, I just want to die. Like, all I want is death. Like, that's all the man was pursuing, was just, how do I die? And how do I die a happy death? An honorable death? Maybe not so much. She just wants to die. A peaceful death? Is that even possible for me? You know, I don't think Logan ever imagined that he'd be dying in the arms of his daughter. You know, it just.
Well, that's just it. I think there's, sorry to add on that, I think there's a part of him that maybe even thought he didn't deserve a happy death.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, and there's then such that guilt of shame of like you said in those nightmares, the life she's killed. So like you said, him dying in the arms of his daughter is just kind of, yeah, it's surreal.
And the tragic irony of that is that when Charles is discussing how he doesn't deserve what he just had, this beautiful night with family, a dinner around with family, laughing, some kind of a peaceful laying down and trying to rest, and then the irony that this shape that is Wolverine, this Weapon X, right, this X-24, is what kills him. Yeah, it's the tragedy of that, right? But then juxtapose that with Logan becoming this Christ-like figure.
He dies on a tree.
He dies as father to his daughter and her friends. The only family he now has is those kids and her. And maybe the just the pure instinct of, I need to protect her. I mean, he doesn't even think about it. And when it comes to, and he sees what's looming over at them with those drones, it's that moment where it's a split second where all of a sudden he just knows what he has to do. But for me, it's the image, and this is my big takeaway of this movie. I have one great desire. Whew, I could do this. If at the side of my gravesite, my kids can walk away proud of the life I've had, you know, that's a good death. And I think Logan got that, and I don't think he ever expected it, because like you said, I think it was Matthew that said it, he for sure never thought he'd deserve anything like that. But
one of the thing is too, you know, the X-Men gave him kind of this purpose, this role, you know, and without them, he probably very much in the desert, just wanderer, like, what am I? Wandering, you know, as kind of like this just person in the middle of nowhere. And it's just back to what you said, that about Project 24, X-24, I guess you can call him, the clone of his is like enhanced version of him. I feel like, especially that scene with Charles, notice how he started as a shadow over him. It was almost like he represented more that sense of humanity trying to control and use this, you know, the idea of using a mutant as a weapon. That's what 24 represented. He was the embodiment of that completely. Because if you think about it, he listened to this guy, Dr. Rice. Like he did everything that they wanted. He was the ultimate like weapon that they finally got. And then obviously the kids and Logan are the people that have suffered on humanity's pursuit to like become God, if you will. And so the shadow going over Charles in that one shot when he's on the bed is kind of also a tone shift when you realize, you know, oh snap, it's about to get pretty dark, pretty serious, you know. To the point where now I even hurt the families that were there. You know, just a humble family that was working on their lives, on their livelihood, and just building a family. And then, you know, simple talks about travel and just living a life together. You know, it's all obviously character building, but it's equally as heartbreaking, because just when we're getting to know them, and heck, I mean, they even take us with Logan to go fix the water, you know.
Felt like Last of Us.
Yeah,
for sure.
It felt like one of those moments where it's just like a step away.
Beautifully
clearly,
though too, I think, with that family, like, it wouldn't have been as heartbreaking if Logan didn't allow himself to receive the love that they were giving them.
He resisted. He
tried not to. But again, it's that last part, because if he didn't grow close to them, that guy would have never driven out and killed the other one and basically saved Logan. Logan could have died then.
Yeah, I mean, even Caliban, he got a sense of redemption too, you know, from helping them get a lot of the mutants, and then not being afraid of the light, which for him was death, you know, obviously because of his condition and what his abilities were, or rather weaknesses with light. It clearly burned him. I mean,
but even that, you know, his character and the way that he is, and how he was not facing necessarily the way that the world had gone, and he was very much trying to stay true to helping others and helping Logan and Xavier, but he also he's burned by the past when he really steps out into the real world and remembers what he used to do.
Did, yeah.
So you know, that even still is a representation of his character and how he is. And but then he faced the light. He faced the light to help the ones he loves, his friends, because he's caring, and it's very sad to lose him in that way.
Yeah.
Um,
For sure. Yeah, beautiful
Yeah.
film. It really is just a beautiful film. It's not even. I see this more as again, I've never read the comic that
I mean, you
inspired
could show
this.
you could show anybody this movie. I feel like
But
you'd appreciate.
yeah,
it
you don't
more,
have to
but-
see anything else, in terms of X-Men and none of that, because that's not what really matters. It's, Hugh Jackman and then Daphne.
There's a strange groundedness to it, despite it being a superhero movie.
I believe so.
A superhero movie, because he's
Yeah.
just I think that all
This is
comes
a
down
true
to
superhero movie.
directing and writing, but where it's a superhero movie, but it still feels so real life. It's not like all of these bright colors and suits. It's
It
like,
defines what a superhero movie can be.
Yeah.
The ability to be grounded and to just be true,
Yeah.
be honest.
Well, and I think we've never seen The Boys, and I don't plan on seeing The Boys, but I think a show like that, even that's relevant, people are watching it today. I think a show like that proves that it's not all about what you wear. It really is about the heart, and I think what the X-Men represented, the pursuit, right? What they were striving to be, were always what the mission was. Even what Charles, I mean, that's what makes the X-Men story so fascinating. Is you have people like Magneto and Charles Xavier that both had like different philosophies and an idea of what the X-Men, or rather what mutants should be, and that's what propels like. all
Notice
these
how Logan
characters
has redefined what that is by what he did.
Right, exactly. And
So,
and
yeah.
Charles Xavier, after the Westchester incident, was kind of still just, in a sense, he had already died. He had already died when it comes to his, I mean, he killed without meaning to, injured all these people, killed his loved ones. So in a way, he was also barely hanging on. And all he was really just this last remnant of that vision that he had.
This restless soul.
Restless soul,
I do have to make a comment on the nurse Gabriela Lopez, because if she doesn't take matters into her own hands,
Yeah.
with the nurses there, so this concept of protecting the life of the kids,
That I did
That-
not see coming.
that's
That
really
was
where the
really-
spark of hope begins.
Mm-hmm.
Because without Laura, Charles gets worse. I mean, Logan gets worse. It's just, she is this beacon of hope, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can make arguments as you want, but children bring that kind of hope. I think being a father, I obviously am biased to that statement, where you have kids and kids just alter the way you see life, the way you see yourself, and I think ironically some people just can't handle having to look at themselves. And that was the beautiful juxtaposition of having Logan fight literally himself, but having his offspring right by his side, willing to die with him and for him if necessary, fight alongside him, and that is a very just plain truth. Like that, it's just fact. When you have a kid, if they become your confidant, you become a force to be reckoned with. So all of those elements of life and protecting life and giving yourself to this child, as a parent, what that can, the wonderful gifts that can reap is just it's immeasurable, and so that element of it that kind of gets ignited by the character of Gabriela Lopez was really beautiful.
Yeah.
Her tenacity to get him connected to her, to get Logan connected to Laura. I mean, it cost her life. It's something beautiful that needs to be mentioned, because it's what brought hope into the lives of Charles and Caliban and of course Logan.
Yeah, man, beautiful movie. And I think the last thing, obviously we have Deadpool and Wolverine coming up, which is very exciting.
Not to say
but
that,
this
man,
movie
like,
has quite
yeah.
the standard. I at first I was kind of going into this thinking, can this movie ruin this? And I honestly don't think so.
Deadpool and Wolverine.
I don't think it can ruin
I
this,
think-
because it's so separate. I don't know.
I'm telling you, we watched a story trailer in theaters where they took out the violence. The violence is gonna be there, and I do feel like it's gonna be spaced out well. I think it is.
Yeah.
I have hope that it is, especially if this is something that is connected to the character
Well,
of
I remember
Wolverine.
the trailers of Logan. That's what they would advertise too, is the violence,
Right,
the action.
right.
So,
And again, the trailer without the violence, not that it's not going to be there, but it has a promising story, and there's moments where, these actors can go there, You know, even Ryan Reynolds, we've seen,
Yeah.
you know, the Adam Project,
And Sean Levy
he's-
worked on that too. And
Right,
that was
right.
an amazing movie.
So I'm as we approach this movie, I am getting it's very much like the progression of this movie. I felt like I was in a desert, not really sure what was going on, but I do feel us approaching a forest of possibility, and I'm starting to realize the
Love
hope
that.
of all of
We're
it.
hopeful.
So I'm excited for Deadpool and Wolverine.
right. Yeah. It's very, very exciting.
Yeah.
It's very refreshing to see X-Men again, like to see
Yeah.
the mutants again. I have missed, you know, the golden days of X-Men
X-Men.
and the movies that I saw years ago.
Yeah.
This is really cool to be back. I just felt like you're back to.
And we got to see some of those in theaters too
What
when we
was.
were younger. So
Yeah.
it's, you know, that's definitely. I mean, those were some of the first Marvel movies we saw.
Yeah.
I mean,
Very
before
Avengers.
some, you know, Avengers movies, and we saw those.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah.
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 X-Men
no,
are a
for
big
sure.
part of my life for sure.
Mhm.
Had to
And it-
pass it on to you.
Oh,
It was
yes.
passed on.
Well,
yes,
I'm
sir.
glad we watched this now with you guys. Now we can say we
Yes.
have seen Logan.
Check.
Amazing
Yeah.
movie.
Truly, man. Yes. And thank you guys. Thank you guys for
joining us.
Obviously, joining us, recommending this, and your patience. I know a lot of you guys have been wanting us to see this for a while.
Yes.
For
Thank you
sure.
for your
Yeah.
So thank you for your
And
thank
if
you
you've
for your
made it
patience.
this way through the commentary, we love talking with you and giving our
Yes.
thoughts.
Yes.
So definitely
If you
meet us
have
in the
any
comments.
responses, you can-
Let us know if you agree with us, if anything you disagree on, or new reflections or takeaways that we didn't really mention that are important for us to just think about, or you know,
What stood
take
out
in
to
maybe
you?
as Easter eggs. Yeah, what stood out to you in this movie? What moments are some of your highlights that really affected you on an emotional level when you watched it? And yeah, again, just any comic book insight as well. Things that people that like us that don't really read the comic books wouldn't really appreciate, at least not immediately. But then you guys oftentimes, you guys share little details, and it is really cool to go back and be like, oh wow, yeah, that's you know, the intentionality, I think, for sure. It's wonderful. So
There
yes,
was a
guys.
scene, quick note, sorry,
Oh.
in the bar, Logan, I was like, wait, that looked familiar from the Deadpool Wolverine
Yeah,
trailer.
it's something. I don't think it's the same bar.
It just
but it's,
reminded me of it. It was
Yeah,
like-
he's
moment,
always
yeah.
he's always in a bar.
He's always at a bar.
He's always at a bar.
He's numbing
Sorry,
out the
we can
pain.
continue. I
No,
just-
but you're right. No, but it's little things like that. But yeah, guys. So anyway, thank you for joining us. And again, if you guys want to have access to more MaJeliv content and to our uncut watch along to this movie, you guys can have access to that by becoming a member of MaJeliv by clicking the link in the description or the card up above to have access to our Patreon, or by clicking that join icon next to the subscribe button. So you have two ways to become members on this channel, either on Patreon or YouTube. And again, you'll support what we do here at MaJeliv and just be a part of the MaJeliv family as we talk about, again, films, art, TV shows, and just reflect and see what to take away from this art that we receive, and then how to live it out in our daily lives. So if you're interested in that, you guys can check that out. But regardless, you being here today means a lot to us. So thank you. Go out there, spread your light, and we'll see you guys in the next MaJeliv video. Have a MaJeliv day.
Bye.
Bye.